performance on the outside, stored stress on the inside. Your body's keeping the score. Welcome to an Innerwaves podcast. This is the space where science meets the unseen, where the nervous system meets the soul, and where high-performing lives reconnect with the wisdom of the body. Today's episode is titled Bridging Realms, the Body as a Portal to Soul Remembrance. So many of us have learned to live from the mind, to push, achieve, and perform. But the body has always been speaking through sensations, through breath, through emotion. And when we learn to listen, the body becomes more than just a physical vessel. It becomes a portal, a bridge between who we've been conditioned to be and who our soul came here to express. In today's episode, Bridging Realms, the Body as a Portal to Soul Remembrance, we explore how reconnecting with the body allows us to access the deeper intuition, released stored patterns, and the remembrance of the truth of who we are truly beneath the noise of the world. So take a breath, arrive in our body, and let's begin. Today's guest is Devahnah Ellandria, founder of 6 transformational modalities and a guide for a global community. Her work comes from a lifelong spiritual path, deeply connected with the Source, Gaia, and the Andromeda realms. She also works with the wisdom of the inner earth elders. Through decades of devotion to Gaia and humans' evolution, Devahnah supports people in soul remembering, awakening, and mystical co-creation. She truly stands as the bridge between realms, gently guiding others back to the sacred truth of who they truly are. Welcome, Devahnah. It's beautiful to have you here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. It's great to be here. I love your energy. I love what you're stepping into, and it's just joyful to be
Thank
here.
you. Thank you. You have always been my guru, I would say. And I'm so proud to say that on air today. I've been telling you behind the scenes, behind the doors always. But somewhere in my deeper meditations and through energies, I have always witnessed your energy around. And thank you so much for always being there around. Yeah.
Oh, my pleasure.
I know this wasn't expected. This wasn't something that but I'm so glad I spoke it out loud.
Yeah, thank you. And just receiving that is so beautiful. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Devahnah, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Yes, gosh, who am I? I am my own little evolution project, I can tell you that. I think at this point in my life, what I'm really excited about doing is really bringing as many of us as I can to come into that combined heart field where the heart of God, Gaia, humanity is at one, is in deep devotion, deep love, deep service, deep connection. And then finding the ways that we allow our oneness to come into the parts of us that are not feeling that way.
Yep.
To come into the parts of that combined heart field that aren't all in connection, devotion, love, and service. And supporting people to find what is the gold that they hold. Yep. And how can they embody it? How does Gaia really support us? Because she does. And I'm very much in love with really supporting that inner child in us as well. I believe that, we've very consciously come into this world, and I can really only speak for the people that I connect to in my work, Parul.
Yep.
Thankfully, there's millions of us connecting to each other in millions of different ways. But the majority of people that I connect into are already born with something that they chose in partnership with God and Gaia and humanity to bring in, that they knew was going to be just such a beautiful, profoundly important thread to the collective weave. And yet we don't always get met in that place. We don't always have a community or a deep holding or a place for us to anchor that energy in. And then often we also have like a whole amazing, wonderful bag of stuff that we might have to be looking at as well, that we're working out, from our previous experiences here on earth, and what it is that our soul and our own personal, individual, unique healing journey calls for.
Yep.
So I feel like a lot of the time my role is just listening deeply to the heart of Gaia and how she already knows we need to be held, how she already knows our inner child needs to be met, and just supporting and guiding the people that I connect to really embrace and embody, and really just holding up a mirror. I'm just listening. I'm listening to that other part of the picture that for whatever reason, often actually not feeling safe actually disconnects us from. So, yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, Devahnah, many people say the body keeps the score. From your multidimensional perspective, how does the body hold emotional, ancestral, and even cosmic memories?
Yes. Yes, sometimes gracefully and sometimes with a lot of difficulty.
Oh,
So
yes.
the really profoundly great thing about the human body is it can interact with lots of different types of DNA and lots of different types of collective frequencies. So, and if we had like a starseed body or an angel body or an inner earth body, like a fairy body, we can't actually do that, but the human body can. So first and foremost, it is a multidimensional connector and conduit for lots of different types of energy, frequencies, DNA, dimensional connectedness, and definitely memory. And again, this is my personal perspective, but we are specifically here because we want to do that collective connecting work, whether that's to anchor our gifts, to clear up some things. Maybe we don't have a lot of cleanup work, but we are anchoring really deep foundational blueprints for future generations. So we have a body because our soul has said, I want to come in and I want to connect to a bigger picture of myself than maybe just, and not just because everyone's at a different point in their journey on earth and they're all equally important. But we might be saying, I want to take on the challenge of being open to a much bigger field. And so absolutely every single point of connection is through the body, 100% as far as I'm concerned. And our cells, literally, it is literally written within our cellular structure, actually who we are on a really deep level. So the body not only keeps the score, it's our reference point, it's our Encyclopedia Britannica, it's our treasure chest, it's our gateway, and ultimately, the process of embodiment to me is actually our enlightenment. And however we might relate to that, we might feel more enlightened about who we are today than we did last week. It doesn't have to be, a pressurized, ultimate goal that we must succeed. I think, yes, but without the body, what would we be doing? We would, it's our meeting ground. That's how I sort of relate to it, Parul.
Sure. And what has been one of the most profound initiations or the turning points for your own journey that shaped the work that you share with the world today?
Yes, gosh. Yeah, there's a few things that come to mind, but it's really interesting that sometimes the small moments are actually the really powerful ones. So for me, initiation is we're in a moment where we are consciously, really very consciously aware that we will never be the same again.
Yes.
And for most of us, it might be the death of an incredibly dearly loved one, or the birth of a child. I think we go through initiations just trying to do life on a daily basis. But from a more kind of spiritual perspective, I was never actually really interested in working with people, parul.
Really?
No, I was very much, I'm in the Devic communities world. I'm working a lot with where their heartache has been, where their disconnection has been, where their sacred lands have been eradicated. And because of my close proximity to the connection with Gaia, I was really focused on supporting that type of healing. And my daily devotion was really to ask Gaia, how do I help? How do I serve? And I learned a lot through doing that. And then when I was about 22, I decided that I would like to learn Reiki, because I felt it was a pathway to Shakti part, actually awakening the Shakti.
Yes.
And I wasn't interested to work with people. That was all I wanted to do. So I set my intention very clearly, and I met an amazing woman who had spent a lot of time in India and been around a lot of different types of energy activations and understood how important grounding energy is. And so I went along. It was a profoundly moving experience. And then we had the bit where we had to work on people, and I was a bit reluctant, like, kind of got what I felt like I would like from our weekend, and I'd like to leave now, but no. Anywho, so I had this lovely, lovely young man hop on the young man. I mean, I was 22 at the time. He's probably around my age. Anyway, he's popped on the table, and then I've placed my hands on him. And I immediately felt like a lot of the energy that would be sort of sitting in my field had somewhere to go, like in the physical directly. It was like, oh, wow, this is incredible. And then I heard the voice of Gaia, my understanding of the voice of Gaia, literally reverberate through my body and say to me, these are my children too. So that still gets me to this day. And, I would, and so you can imagine, like, I'm just humbled, right? Like,
Yeah.
hello.
Yes.
My initiations have all been about, we've got to drop a wall that you've got up.
Yep.
I created a lot of walls, just so the sensitivity. And from that moment forward, I was like, oh, okay. So that actually set me on my path of working with people.
Right.
Yeah. And so I think that was a really huge moment for me to actually step into, okay, we're stepping into the human reality with what we're here to do.
Yep.
And I was very, very well aware of it in that moment, like, oh, okay, Mother has spoken some really important awareness for me. Yeah.
Yes, beautiful. Just for our customers here, Gaia is Mother Earth, and it is Mother Earth's energy that Devahnah channels through, and that's the energy that we are talking about here. Yeah.
Thank you for that clarification, Parul.
Yeah, it's just we have all type of listeners here, and probably the ones who are very new to this language and these conversations. It is for them to make it more available and simplify it as well with our own, we are so used to these terms, and we really rarely forget that there's a part of that community that is new to these words as well. So just clarifying there. Right, you are the founder of 6 transformational modalities, right? Can you please share what they are and how they help us on our spiritual path, or to transform our bodies or prepare our vessel for that reconnection? with the other realms?
Sure. Basically, I would say the one thing that they all have in common is that I am invited into a field of energy, and my job is to then understand it and create opportunities for others to come into that field of energy.
Okay.
So that would include sacred geometry as a beautiful container for coming into that energy. I would actually say, first and foremost, though, every single thing that I've been involved in is really saying you have a divine source self. You have you are an enlightened being. You are an aspect of source consciousness, and everything that has benefit for you is coming from that place. So we're just creating containers really that help us to connect more deeply into our own divine awareness and our own divine knowing.
Okay.
And so that includes like a series of visuals and information that comes in for us. I wonder if I've got if you give me a moment, Parul, I can actually grab like a visual representation.
Please. Yep.
Here we go. And sorry. Yeah. So thank you for your patience. Yeah, I love that we have visual symbols because sometimes words are not our language and they're not our way of working. So this is like one of the inner child temples that I work with, for example. So we'll have like a beautiful mandala or a visual image, and the energy that goes into that image in this particular image, for example, the voice of my heart, there's an energetic field that's been set up to make it easier for us in this kind of denser reality to connect into our own heart wisdom.
So just to simplify, Devahnah, so these images come through to you as a portal.
Yes.
And for you to take it to the people who are ready, offer them this geometry, this portal, this pattern through which people can actually connect to their own inner child or to the other realms that are open to help evolution of the humanity, if that is what I mean. Like,
well done.
I hope I got it right.
Thank
just
you,
simplifying
Parul.
it. Just
thank
simplifying
you.
it.
We have imagery, we have information, we have mantras, we have a meditative process.
Yes.
It can be very deeply self-guided. And yes, the main overarching umbrella of it all is supporting our evolution and connecting us to our divine spirit.
Yes.
Through process, through imagery, and through mantra.
Okay. Beautiful. So the 6 modalities that you have, they are different types of portals.
Yes. The very first one that was created was back in 2001, I think, or 2002. That has 3 different variations now. But that is very much about connecting to your own divine self, your own divine spirit. The second body of work that came up directly after that was about connecting with your own shadow self, or parts of you that you just haven't met yet.
Absolutely. Yep.
The parts of you that need love and care and compassion. The third one was working with our beautiful Gaia, with her energy and her heart field and her grids for earth healing and clearing. And then more recently, we have Bright Souls, which is for sensitive children.
Yep.
And supporting sensitive children. But it's often the grandparents, actually. The grandparents and parents who are not sure how to support that sensitive child who might be very unique in the way that they are wired and the way that they experience the world. So we have a series of temples they can just come into and be nurtured, be held, and receive what they need, because a lot of these children need things that we don't actually have as part of our day-to-day world available to them, certain types of healing frequencies. And then after that was working with, for people who want to work with their own inner child, and a
Yes.
series of 6 beautiful temples that are very supportive of our own divine inner child and supporting healing for our inner child. And then the sixth one of late has been the Inner Child Heart Magic, which is if you want to step into practitioner training, and there's 33 different opportunities and beautiful guided journeys. There's self-inquiry on quite a deep level, and processes to guide people into and through meeting their inner child, supporting the parts of that beautiful inner child that need healing and love, but also creating opportunities for the magic and the brilliance and the gold and the
Yep.
deep knowing, because your inner child still actually knows who you are. They
Absolutely.
know the gold that you've brought with you. They understand how we are connected to our own spirit and creation in ways that we've forgotten. So, yes. And then there was a few little pathways moving from them into other areas. And then I'm just working now on putting together the Earth Magician Collective, which will be a community. Yeah, and
Beautiful.
working with some Andromedan angel frequency and creating a little oracle deck.
Oh, wow. I'm
I
looking
love it.
forward to it.
Yeah, I love
Uh,
doing it. I love doing this.
I'm
This
sure. I'm
stuff.
sure.
Yeah.
Uh, Devna, you just spoke about the kids, the special kids. And
Mm.
if I may, if I'm not wrong, what the system labels them as ADHD and um,
Autistic
is it the
or
autistic?
neurodivergent. Yeah, but they can also be children who are very awake and
Okay.
really connected, and also have that really heightened multi-sensory experience and are hypersensitive on certain levels. So,
Yeah.
but yes, all of the above. I
Yes.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, if you're a parent or grandparent and you have a child and you just have that really deep sense that they're very tuned in very specific ways.
Mm.
The call that came through, because whatever I've created has kind of been put in front of me.
Yeah.
And then the journey has been for me to figure out, okay, how to understand it and then how to deliver it. But it's always presented to me as something that the universe, God, source, creation has said, look, there's a desire here for support.
Yes. Yes. And as
Yeah.
far as I know, you have written books on it as well.
I wouldn't say I've written books, parul, but there's definitely information about those
Okay.
things
All right.
like in our manuals,
Yes.
because I think we do need some information.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And then
Uh,
often I'll be feeling kind of like that higher mind frequency of those children. And
mm,
they're talking about what are some of the energies that they need to ground and to anchor and to soothe them.
mm,
And also for those people who are energetically active or energetically attuned, to be able to create opportunities to bring those children into a field of energy that's very deeply holding, especially to meet them
yeah.
in the way they need to be met. Yeah. And we do that, we can do that one-on-one as well. Not
Oh,
necessarily always has to be in the group, but I do love the group containers. They're beautiful too.
yeah. Yep. And what inspired your creation, or what is the common thread that connects you to all of these modalities?
I would say just not being able to get away from creating them.
It just came through to you. It just came. It
It
was handed over to you.
Yeah,
And-
it's like, yeah, they're just going to be there. They're just right there, and they want to be born. They're going to
oh,
be born. So get on track with it, and just go for the ride.
yep,
And I've learned to trust that over the years.
yep.
Because yeah, I think this is the thing with energy. When something wants to be born, it's going to be born.
Mm,
And I put my hand up to be in the creator
yes,
energy in this life. So yeah.
sure. There are a lot of people are going through their own awakening right now, right? This time of Earth evolving as well, with humanity evolving at a great speed. A lot of people are in that stage. What would what is your one piece of gift that I don't like to call it an advice, but in that form, what would you like to tell to those souls that are just stepping into the awakening, still feeling a little lost through their path, but how do they regulate their body so that they can be open to, fine tuning with those energies? And
Mm,
yeah,
that's a great question, Parul. Um, Look, as a telepath, I'm very big on having conversations.
yeah, yep,
So I think first and foremost, if you're in that place where you're starting to step into this world, then know that you are divinely held and divinely loved and divinely protected. And what you are stepping into is what you came here to do. And you are clearly finding people like our beautiful Parul and other members of the community that are coming to meet you. So you are being met. You're actually in very good hands. Um, and to just, to be kind and compassionate to yourself, but to inquire of your body, what do you need? What do you need to feel safe?
yeah,
You know,
beautiful.
I'm a big fan of saying to my spirit, divine love that I am, just be with me now. And if I'm feeling wobbly, steady me. If I'm
Mm,
feeling anxious, be strong arms to hold me. If I'm feeling ungrounded, it's like stabilize my field. You
okay,
know, if I'm
just
feeling anxious,
using your words,
breathe
the
with me. I'm
power.
inviting my divine self
Yeah.
to really be with me, and I'm inviting that divine self to take over.
Yeah,
It's like,
beautiful.
yeah, I know that you've got me. I know that you've got me. Even if I don't believe it, I know it.
Mm,
And if I'm starting a creative process or I'm starting anything new, I will also ask my nervous system, okay, how safe are you feeling? You feeling safe? Because I'm an ideas person, Pro, and I've jumped off the cliff and I haven't thought about anything else. I've already jumped. And so sometimes then it's like, oh gosh, I'm going to have to like catch up with myself, right?
yes.
Whereas now it's only the tender age of 59, I will stop and say, now hang on, where is my nervous system at about this? So I'll always inquire for my nervous system, 1, the lowest, 10, the highest, where are you at? And then I'll enter into a conversation and relationship with my nervous system. Okay, what do you need? How can I hold you? How can I love you? And I'm certainly not adverse to finding those people. If something feels beyond me, I will find someone who I just know is going to be the right person for me in that moment. They've understood something, or they've already anchored in, they're already in the place that I want to be in. Um, I just know I need to connect with that person and get their support.
Yes. Asking for help.
Exactly.
That's quite a huge lesson. It's just like,
Yeah. Yes, I need
yeah,
help.
yeah, I need help. And it's as easy as it is. Just
Yeah,
ask
it is.
because there
Exactly.
are people and opportunities just come up for those special.
Yeah. And asking your spirit, it's like, okay, we made a deal. Now I need you.
Yeah,
Be with me,
absolutely.
yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. Devahnah, you often speak about living from the heart aligned and the heart anchored with Source and Gaia. What does that actually feel like in your daily life?
Yes, well, gosh, I have to continuously remind myself to drop back into my heart, to, I would say. So what does it look like in my daily life? It looks like me remembering to stop and
Mm,
breathe and say, actually, I belong to a current, an ocean of incredible love, and that
yep,
love is here for me.
yep.
So on it, and but it's actually remembering that. And I think, for anyone who might be a little bit alone in their journey, or anyone like me and like yourself, Parul, often we work kind of alone. It's really important to remember that we are deeply held. So
Mm,
for me, it's inquiry, it's remembering, it's invitation. And it's also, I think it's like a little bit like muscle memory. You just realize after a while, you know what, when you drop into your heart and you
mm,
actually say, okay, I'm here, just letting that energy flow to me and through me. And then I motivate, or I think, or I plan, or I share from that place. It's always hands down a much better experience for me and for others, because we're not sitting in an isolated space, we're in a deep holding.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful way of starting or, reconnecting with our own body as well. Um, any ritual, any practice that you would have for the viewers that they could, it could be handy for them in their daily busy lives, where
Yes.
it's like, okay,
Yeah. Sure. Look, I think the really important thing about connecting to our body is safety, as you would know, right?
yeah,
It's safety. And so what do we feel safe with?
hmm,
What do we feel safe with? So for me, it is the heart of God and Gaia. I feel very safe with that. So my go-to is, I know that my heart is aligned and wired and to be connected to them. As a human being, we are designed to be connected to
yep,
that love. That's just a total given. But I also sometimes I like to just call in my mental body, or call in my mental body, just drop down through the heart into the heart of Gaia. And just calling in my emotional body, just drop down through the body into the heart of Gaia. Calling
mm,
in my divine self, just coming in, dropping down, anchoring through me into the heart of Gaia. And then I might just, you might be able to say, well, right now I'm safe. In this room, I'm safe. My body is safe. And I'm choosing to allow my divine self to come and fill me and be present with me, anchor and ground me, flow through me, move through me, transform me, uplift me, connect with me. And I'm a huge fan of just hand on the heart, hand on the belly, and just breathing in to the body.
yeah.
Because does
Some
your
deep
body like a
breath.
breath of divine energy? Yes, it does.
Yes, yes, those deep breaths, just a couple of breaths during that busyness, that tightness of the day, and they just take you back. They just ground you back. It's perfect. So calming. Already receiving your beautiful energy.
Well, it's your beautiful energy, right?
Oh,
Because
thank
you're
you.
saying, yes, I'm connecting into my spirit. So yes,
Oh,
but yeah, that's
thank
that's
you.
simple practice.
Beautiful. So your work comes through deep initiation. What does true spiritual initiation mean? And how does it transform someone's path?
Look, I, again, from my own perspective, spiritual initiation is absolutely first and foremost an ending and a death and a dissolving of something, whether it's an identity or a role or a belief system. There's something that is coming to an end,
Yes.
and it is ready to shift out of our system. And then usually there's a period of what I would call like limbo land. We're kind of like, oh, I don't feel quite like me, and I haven't quite landed, and I'm quite not next into the next space. But this is a really, really profoundly powerful place to be, because we're in the little cauldron, right? We're in the little cooking pot
Yep.
of what it is that our divine source self is not even kind of so much delivering to us or wanting to educate us about. It's actually saying, I've lifted this out of you, and now I want for you to just allow what already is within you to
Yes.
actually reveal itself and come forward.
Absolutely.
So often, it's an opportunity to actually say, I just really need to spend some time coming into the body, being present and surrendering. I'm surrendering.
Mm-hmm.
And then, there'll be those awarenesses that then start to land. There'll be, all of a sudden, it'll be like, oh my gosh, like, oh, wow, I can see this thread. Wow, it's moved and it's
Yep.
weaved and it's flowed through decades, and here it is, and it's just coming to some completion, and a piece just falls into the puzzle. And then for me, we've completed that initiation when we are really embodying that energy now. And
Mm.
usually the first sign of that transformation will be something comes along and we're just responding in a completely different way.
Yep.
Um, so, and, look, everyone is very different. Sometimes those initiations can come through what might seem like really day-to-day things. It might be, I finally clicked to something that, it's taken however many years in my marriage to realize.
Yes. Yes.
As much as it can be, oh, I'm on retreat and I'm in this really amazing, powerful part of the earth, and I'm experiencing a download, and et cetera, et cetera. So I think they can be moments. I think really it's just a moment where we know something's changed now, and we can never kind of go back to where we were.
Yes.
But what we're moving into feels more like us. We feel freer, we feel calmer, we feel more peaceful. And definitely I think we have so much less judgment. We're just in a much more natural place of acceptance and understanding and compassion and kindness toward ourselves, toward others, toward everything that's going on in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's perfect. Um, way of putting out what an initiation is. It's the ending of our older self and stepping into the new self that we are becoming, and being comfortable and breathing into that new space.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
Right.
Ending, discovery, birth.
Right. I'm sorry, this is just sliding off, but all right. When someone carries deep trauma or emotional pain in their body, how do you guide them into a space where they feel safe enough to begin releasing it? Initially when the body is full of pain, it's hard to really connect and think of, the good vibe thing. How do you really get them back into that space in the body?
Look, I think again, everyone is different, but the people that I would work with, even if we don't feel ready, even if we feel trepidation and anxiety and even resistance and fear, we are actually saying, I'm willing to show up for the part of me that is in pain.
Yep. Yep.
And then ideally, we're going to find what is the right pathway
Mm.
for us. So for me, often that will be either we're really looking at what is the root cause of this, and where is it anchored in the soul record, or where is it anchored in the inner child in this lifetime. But first and foremost, yeah, again, it's like, okay, well, what is your safe place?
Mm-hmm.
To someone it might be like, gosh, I can't even think of a safe place if they're doing inner child work. And it's like, well, okay, what about a beautiful forest? What about the energy of the trees?
Mm.
It might be like, oh, actually, quite like trees, or it could be crystals, or it could be a beautiful big mama bear comes in. There could be bear medicine. For other people, it might be an ascended master or a very, a teacher that they really love. For someone else, it could be the angelic realms. For someone else, it might be a grandmother or a grandfather. For
Ancestral.
someone else, it might be like a star seed, or it could be the heart of Gaia. We've got to find, where do they feel safe? They might just say to you, you know what, Parul, just sitting here with you, I feel safe.
Mm.
Okay, great. So once we can say, all right, let's find a little safe space, then we need to actually come in and sit and be present and feel into the body. What are the feelings? What are the emotions? And giving that an opportunity to express itself. And I think there are a lot of different ways that people can do this. And I might be working with someone, but I might also say, you know what, breath work would be brilliant for you, because I know they need breath work. I actually really love breath work. I think breath work is really interesting. Or I might say to someone else, you know what would be really helpful might be some kinesiology.
Yep.
Because that person will work with the body, and it's not asking them to engage mentally or emotionally just yet. So I think it's really important, that we can allow, there might be different things that we need at any given time. I just know the energy that I work with is definitely a very safe space for your inner child, and it's a very safe space for any part of your own soul wounding or shadow energy, because I'm there with God and Gaia. So
Yes.
so it's really safety first. And then I believe that we release something from our body at the same speed we feel safe to.
Mm.
You're not gonna let go of something if you don't feel safe. It doesn't mean that you might not have energy move sometimes and be like, well, I'm gonna have to breathe through this, right? As a breathwork
Yes. Yes.
goddess, you will
Oh
know
my
that.
God.
So no, but so sometimes it's
Yeah.
like, what we do. And um I think I've just had the privilege really of being very much, because of the nature of the pain in our collective heart, I've been very much in some of those areas. And so I've just learned over time to be present with it, and to find one safe step to the next safe step. But definitely it's all about safety.
Yeah. Feeling safe in the body. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. What does really remembering mean, and how does it support the healing of the body and the nervous system?
That is such a great question. I think for me, look, within the human heart, the human body, the human soul, we do know who we are, right? We do remember
Yes.
who we are. We do know that we are that which holds us, and we are that which needs to be held.
Mm.
And so we flip from the perceiver to the perceived. Sometimes we're in the I can be held. I need to be held by a great mother, like hold me like I am literally a newborn baby with no skin on. I need
Absolutely.
to really hold me. So I think we definitely, absolutely do know who we are. And I think those of us who feel the disconnect the most,
Mm.
in some respects, are actually, we've just come from somewhere where we felt incredibly deep connection. So the frustration of feeling disconnected is because we're very well aware of how awesome it is when we are connected, because we
Connected. Yeah.
are connected to that ocean of divine love, right? That
Mm.
expansive presence. So it's in us, right? It's in us. And if you're guided to start to discover that, you will discover it. There's no question of that. You are on a treasure
Hunt.
adventure, and you are the treasure, and you've got it within you. So just keep going.
Powerful. Powerful. In your experience with your clients around the world, what is the most common wound or disconnection you see people are carrying today?
Yeah. Gosh. Again, the people that I work with, a lot of those people are wanting to bring an anchor, different ways of working and different ways of sharing. But we can also be using a format that is profoundly understood and deeply needed, but we're bringing our own unique vibe to it, right? When people come and do breath work with you, you're bringing you, right? You are the unique gold in that process and moment. So often, it's like, what has happened that we have not felt safe to really fully embody that? What has happened to us that has made us feel anxious about being seen? So a lot of the time, the healing there is around clearing up whatever's happened in the past on a soul level or in our life where we've been told it's not safe to be who we are, or we've experienced that it's not safe to be bright and shiny and luminous, but as adults, we can create safety around that. So it's the safety to be who we truly are. And then the other thing is absolutely, how do we anchor that frequency and energy into the heart of Gaia and kind of like let her magic and her frequency meet us.
Right.
And support us, because we are not co-creating a different world in isolation. It's not possible.
Right.
We can't, we are creating a new world or a new way of being through reconnecting with the planet. This is our home planet. We are humans on our home planet. We should be totally in the life force and the frequency and the delight of life that our planet actually is naturally kind of expressing in every moment.
Absolutely. And I think the very reason why I've always felt deeply connected with your energies is when I go into my deeper meditations or on my own journeys, or even with clients at times, if I'm deep into the work, it's a Gaia's energy that grounds. It takes all that transmutation and all that transformations happening is through her energy, and that's why for me, my work as well, the biggest pillar there is Gaia holding that whole vessel, and then us working through that energy and transmuting it and making the vessel ready. So you are the head of that. I think from my point of view, at least, you just hold it so beautifully up there. And yes, a lot of people are, as we mentioned earlier as well, they are in their awakening stages where their body or their vessel energetically as well, because today we are talking about all about energy body and more about their energetic body needs some anchoring or
Yes.
a way to hold that huge energy, that whole shift that is coming through in these times, and connecting or grounding to the earth's energy or Gaia's energy is of great help there. She's there. It's the magic.
Absolutely. It's profoundly helpful. I think, what I noticed and what I experienced too is as we come down from the higher frequencies into the physical, and then we're trying to fit a huge amount of energy into an increasingly more dense container that's operating in a world or in a dimension where the energy is denser. And so when we come in and we hit the collective, kind of like the energy field of the collective, which has got a bit of everything in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it can be very jarring and very shocking. And so we
Yes.
tend to kind of, our light body might disconnect, that double interlocking tetrahedron Merkaba, the container that we've used to move through creation, which is also our safe place, can feel like it's really disconnected from us. And then once we start saying, wow, I've got to kind of wall up and create some shields to everything that I'm being impacted by. When we create those shields, of course, we're disconnecting from what is really supportive of us, as well as what feels threatening to us. And so it becomes very much, we can get a little bit lost in the idea that the things that are going on around us and the people that we've encountered and the traumas we've had, as somehow having some level of control over bringing those more powerful parts and anchoring them, when really we can actually know that we can call them in ourselves.
Yep. Yep.
Even just to
Beautiful.
be able to say, I just walk in my beautiful divine light body to anchor deeply around me and into Gaia's heart.
Oh, yep. Simple.
Is enough of a directive to go, okay,
Yeah.
great. We're bringing that, we're opening those pathways of energy.
Thank you for that gold nugget that you just dropped in. All right. So, what is the relation between Gaia's evolution and humanity's evolution at this time?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting one, isn't it? I
It
think
is.
we really have this opportunity to step into, what is beautiful about ourselves and our planet. How do we nurture ourselves? How do we nurture our environment? Gosh, just look around at our local solar system. We're the only place that has a lush, rich skin, right? This is
Mm.
very unique. And we have the opportunity to create something very, very beautiful for the next generations. It's really, to me, all about
Yes.
future generations now. And the uniqueness, preserving the uniqueness. I realize that I've had to let go of my attachment to outcome about the future of the environment
Mm.
in order to actually function better, because that was something that was almost paralyzing for me in my youth, particularly. But I think we have, this is the moment where we can say we can step into divine partnership that's based on the wisdom of knowing that we've already done everything else. Surely we
Yep.
can't hurt each other any more than we already have. There's nothing left to experience or learn there. So I think we have got this opportunity now to say that we are in partnership, and we can be in partnership, and
Mm.
let's really understand what are the opportunities and what is beautiful and powerful about the potential of that partnership, rather than the mentality of how do we try and find some sense of security through status or money, or giving our power away to an external force.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Humanity at this stage is at that stage where we need to come to that point of we all are one, and it's the five elements as well of the earth that exist that can help saving us, or else, yep, we all know where we are heading towards.
And I think this is what we're doing in our own ways. We all hold a vision of what life can be like, and we try to live that to our best ability within ourselves.
Right.
And that's the opportunity, and that's as best as we can do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Just coming towards the end, if the body is truly keeping the score, what message do you think people need to hear right now?
Your body remembers everything that is free and beautiful and indestructible and powerful about who you are. It actually has had that relationship with itself on a cellular level in this form or another form for a lot longer than you've known any form of difficulty. It is
Yes.
actually your it is much more your constant
Mm.
than anything else is. And especially for anyone who might feel at times like some of their innocence has been taken from them on some level, I just want you to know that your innocence is indestructible. It is absolutely indestructible. And yes, honestly, you are so much more love than you are anything else. There's just no question. There's no question
Oh,
about it from my perspective.
such a powerful message. All righty. So, as we close today's episode, uh, let's remember that our body is not just something that we carry through life, it is a living portal of wisdom. Every breath, every sensation, every feeling is an invitation to come back home to ourselves. When we slow down and listen, the body gently guides us back to our soul's remembrance and deeper truth. Thank you so much, Devahnah, for sharing your wisdom and presence with us today.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you for your amazingly fabulous questions. So much gratitude.
Thank you. I'm sure it is going to guide us all much easily through the journey ahead. Yeah. And I will list for the listeners, I'm going to list all your connection points, I would say, your social media links and your website for those who may need to connect with you and the beautiful work that you do so that they can access to you. Yeah.
Thank you. That is awesome. Thank you, Parul. Thank you.
Sure. For the listeners, you've been listening to Inner Waves, where we explore the connection between the nervous system, consciousness, and the deeper wisdom within us. Until next time, stay connected to your breath, your body, and the waves within. Take a deep breath, listen to your body, and stay connected to your inner waves. Thank you.